Okay, hi everybody. We are looking at the second glaze fire from all that bisque that I just did recently, and it looks like nothing exploded, which is good. That's always good. So I'm gonna sit you right here on the control box, and one thing here. Not too impressed with that. These two little guys are test pieces basically. This could be a little candle holder. This can be a little vase for somebody's desktop. This is a new glaze by Mayco and it's called Rose Quartz. Now remember, this is on spectacular clay, so it's got specks in it that affect it, but I guess I need to use a different clay body to see what that would do without the specks. They said on the label, anytime the label says that a glaze is fluid, or that there's another word they use for it, but it's kind of a surreptitious way of saying it runs. So you have to be careful with it. So this is essentially one coat down around this area right here. And I would say this is your 3 coats right here. It is not shiny. So in future, I think I may test this with 2 coats and probably not going all the way to the bottom. But I'm going to put a glossy on top of it and see what happens, because I really wanted that to be glossy. But anyway, I mean, the test piece on the label for that is glossy, and so, you know, they make them look pretty on the label. This is just one of those grills. This is going to go to my little tea stove thing. It's a little doodad to go on top of that. I may show you what that looks like. And this is the bottom to one of them, a copper float. Oh look, my little spaceship. Let's see if there we go. Okay, that's my UFO. Let's hold that, give you a profile on it. So this is stealth mode. This is blue, sort of blend in with the sky while it's flying, and then this is the top. So people on Earth can't see that top. They can only see the bottom part of it. I think that's cute. I think that'd be so cute hanging in a kid's room. Kids that are interested in space. And then here's another one. Also stealth mode, blend in with the sky, and dark on the top. Little alien compartment right here. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay, here are some house numbers, and these are interesting. The glaze is different. It has, of course, textured over the whole thing, but it's got white. I put white underglaze on it and then wiped most of it away so that I could get the advantage of the color of the clay, that toasty color underneath. And for house numbers, you don't want anything that's just like garish, or, you know, or but I think those turned out well. So for a house on the Pacific Ocean, that's got that beautiful blue, I think those turned out very well. Okay. Yeah, I like that texture there. And the house is white, so this isn't going to look real gaudy or anything. Okay, that's just one of my biscuits. Oh, and here are my little, I guess they're pie plates. I think they're going to end up being bread bakers, because around here people bake those round loaves of bread. That's going to be pretty. I love this. This has white underglaze underneath it, and so right around here on the edge you can see the white. Let's see if we can make that show. You can see a little bit of the white peeking through right before you get to that little toasty bare edge, which I think pretty. Sea salt on the side there, and then I leave the bottoms bare. And then this one is just like it, also with the white underglaze that peeks through at the edge. Sea salt. They changed the formula for sea salt. I'm pretty upset about that, because that's one of my favorite glazes, and the effect of it came out on these. This is, of course, the sea mist on the inside, but this is the sea salt mixed good, so new and old. So I can't say that this is the new formula, because it isn't all the new formula. So I already had 2 coats of the old formula, and then had to break open a new jar for the third coat, and it was a whole different color. And I thought maybe this got mislabeled or something. And so I called Mayco, and they said they had a different supplier for their talc in the glaze formula, and so it's not going to be as bright white as it has been in the past, but it'll be similar. Well, if you're doing a set of something, just make sure you have enough glaze to do the whole set with the same batch of glaze, because unfortunately I learned the hard way that you can't depend on everything staying the same. I mean, that's life, right? That's just life. But we'll compare it with some of the stuff on the inside, or inside the studio in there, that has the old well, wait a minute, I might have something over here that has the old formula on it, but I don't see anything handy. Okay, well, anyway, just a word to the wise: if you're making a set of anything and you want it to be consistent, now this has a, what is it called? Glo-Worm, I think. It's a yellow, it's a kind of a neon yellow underglaze. And the blue mist shows up on the top layer of it, but it's kind of sketchy. And so probably another coat, maybe I should have added another coat of blue mist on top of this, but it did turn it kind of greenish. Here is to compare. This one is blue mist without any underglaze, and this has that Glo-Worm. It's a yellow neon, kind of yellow green color, and that's underneath the sea mist. So you get, it's a pretty color. I mean, it's nice, and the glaze, I mean, it turned out real well. It matured and everything, but that's what it looks like. Okay, here's some more of that rose quartz, and I was cautious on the bottom of this as well. I probably could have gone to the bottom of this one, because it has, the foot would have caught the glaze, I believe. And I put Shino cream. So this is rose quartz with Shino cream around the top, like just on the top edge. And look, boy, talk about runny. 2 runny colors. See, Shino cream is very runny. And so this rose quartz is also runny, not as runny by itself as Shino Cream, but together they were headed for China, weren't they? Looks good. But it's a good, useful piece, and it's a test piece, and I like to make test pieces that are also functional, because, you know, otherwise you end up with gobs. Now here's something I just learned. I had these bead trees. So here are my bead trees. Here's one of them. Yikes. Well, there they go. Anyway, here's one of my bead trees. I'm going to lay it down before I lose any more of those. But you can see how much room it took up in the kiln. Okay, lay that down. I just laid that over here. I'm getting all choked up here. So here's another one, and I'm going to carefully take it over here and lay it down. Clunk over here. But if you have advancer shelves, look what I did. So I thought I'd go for broke, probably laying this on a spot that doesn't have kiln wash on it. Like right there would have been better, because it did leave some kiln wash. I don't know if that'll come off with a little bit of sandpaper. I don't know. I'll try it and see. But so I just laid these in here on these advancer shelves, and it's picking up the kiln wash. So that one didn't pick it up at all. That one's just pretty clean. Okay, let's see what this one did. That one picked up a chunk of it, and this one picked up a little bit of it. So I thought, oh my goodness, I'll just lay those down on the advancer shelves and see what happens. So that's what happens. I'll let you know whether that kiln wash will come off or not. Well, yesterday, I didn't realize this until I downloaded my videos, but I did that whole bottom shelf without a battery. The battery died somewhere between the end of the first shelf and the beginning of the next. So I took all the stuff out of the kiln and piled it up in there on the shelf, and didn't realize it till later. Anyway, long story short, here is, I'm going to show you, as promised, what was in there. So this is the base to my bird bath, and we had some discussion online about whether or not it would make a good centerpiece. I'm balancing that up right there. Let me see if that's in the picture. So there it is underneath. You would have to glue that, and I would use E6 if you're going to put something like this outside. Even if you're going to do it inside, E6 is a real good glue. And don't use hot melt glue, because with the temperatures, either hot or cold, hot melt glue just lets go. So you can't do that. Here are some of those charms that I took off the bead trees. And then this, somebody asked me about this. This is a pendulum, and so kids have so much fun with these. They'll be occupied for hours. If you write yes on one side and no on the other side of a piece of paper, and ask them questions and tell them to hold this up, sometimes you can find out things you didn't know from kids or from unsuspecting adults. But it's called a pendulum for some reason. it's kind of along the line of esoteric things, so I don't know. Some people get freaky about things like that. I just think it's kind of funny. They used to hang that over pregnant ladies' bellies so they could supposedly tell if they were going to have a boy or a girl. Let's see, what else? I had 2 teapots in there. Here's one of them. And these are, there are the other 2 that I did on the other video. Oh, and here's the little stove that I was telling you about, and then I made one of these for this one, and this is just putty right here now, but I'm going to weld that to this one as well, so that I can put the little candle in there and have a little stove. It needs more air to burn, and so I'm gonna see if that'll work on that one. So let's see, back to the teapots. This whole batch had to fire twice, and the reason is the electricity got interrupted somehow right before the first fire was finished. So I didn't know whether when I discovered it and then proved to myself that it was back on, I didn't know whether, and of course the kiln was still hot, so I didn't know whether I should just plug it back in and program it and let it go from there, or whether I should. So I opted to let it cool off overnight, and then I fired it again the next day from the beginning. I thought if somebody outside my house did that, which it would have to be either the electric company or someone outside my house, because I was the only one here, then they would probably not be around on that second day. Most of everything is okay. Some of the crystal stuff I had, like inside this, the top of this little lid, like I said, I make several lids when I make teapots so that I have a choice when it's all said and done. This one seems to fit this one okay. I think on this one, let me get this back down here. This one, I didn't like that. I had a little bird nest in there, but it turned completely brown, probably because of the second fire. These were on the bottom, and we know that in my kiln anyway, the bottom usually gets hotter. So this one this lid survived, and it's a good one. So, and it fits real well, so that's a good thing. And there's no crystals on it. This one was made for the other one. This one goes to the other one. Let's see. So it fits, but the crystals are kind of yucky. It bubbled. It's like it boiled and then froze in place, and it never did unfreeze, during the second. It didn't liquefy again. So, and here's why I do the several lids, because this lid is too. See, I made this one for the other teapot up here, but yikes! But see, the teapot shrunk more than the lid did, so it almost fits, but there's no way I'm gonna be able to make that fit. So I don't like the grip. This thing is too hard to get hold of anyway, so that's okay. I like it when things work out like this. So you gotta take the good with the bad. So there's the next one. Then here's that one. This one goes with this pretty good. So, oops, sorry. This one works with this one pretty well. So anyway, here's 4 teapots. And we have this. Now this is that pot that I threw it about up to here on the wheel. And then I added coils from there on up. So when I was glazing it, I just used up something that I had in the bottom of one of the other jars, and like blue surf or something like that. And then this is sea salt, and then this is sea mist on here. So there's that. Oh, speaking of crystals and stuff. So here are 2. Okay, let me show you what I got here. A long time ago, I put glass in the bottom of this, and I love what it did. It's red clay, but that's also red glass down there in the bottom of the pot. And that has been used forever, and it doesn't leak underneath it or let go or anything. It actually becomes part of the glaze. And this one, this lid goes to something else over here. It goes to this. And it also bubbled up and kind of made a mess. Now this and this and this had, let's see what it was. It was Jungle Gems. It's a little special crystalline glaze. And then on one of them, I don't remember which one, but I used Monsoon Seas on another one. And it has crystals in it. Well, okay, number 1, it doesn't do well being fired twice. But chances are it wouldn't have done well being fired once. So I'm beginning not to like these because they're unpredictable. They're not as predictable. This glass was predictable. I never had a problem putting glass, just crushed up glass, into some of the hollow spaces. Or we did a project at school for a student who wanted a little pool. He had made a little diorama kind of thing, and he wanted like water. He wanted the thing to look like it had water in it, like a little swimming pool or a fish pool or something. So we put glass there with an undercoat on the surface of blue underglaze, and it worked out beautifully. He loved it. It was perfectly smooth, and it just was beautiful. So okay, so these were on the bottom shelf. This will be like cutlery. It has a little drain hole right here, and there you can see the drain hole, and the little drain dish on the bottom. So there's another one. Had those 2 in there. This is probably my larger, new and improved garlic keeper. That has, this lid goes to this, so I can deal with that. I can probably stick something else in there. But there's that. And then there was one bowl. This is Mayco Shino. I don't remember if this was on the top shelf or the bottom shelf, but I just hate that I missed all of those while we were doing that. And this is the one that stuck to the bottom. I did a little grinding on it. This is the one I hammered the biscuit off. This was really the only real serious loss. and it's not that big of a deal. I've got what's called a rubber hammer. It's just really hard rubber on the end of it there. I'm gonna try to separate this biscuit from the little pot. The pot's, you know, if I can save it, that'd be great. If I can't, it's no big deal. This is that one that had oatmeal on it. So if you're gonna do it on a soft surface. Wear safety goggles. See my safety goggles? Wear those. On your hand that's gonna be holding this, wear a glove, okay? Wear a glove, because you never know where this is gonna go. And so start out gently. I think this is welded on here. Whoa, it came off. Whoa, big surprise. And I don't remember if this was on there or not, but doesn't he look cute in there, little alien in my spaceship? Somebody mentioned that they liked these, and these are my Q-Team hearts, and little patriotic hearts, and I've got a whole bowl full of them. But I took a red Sharpie and accentuated the Q so that it would show up, and I tested it underwater, and it will come off if you scrub it. The Sharpie does, but you have to really scrub it. I didn't want to put anything that somebody might have next to their clothing that would ruin their stuff. So anyway, there are those. There's just a whole bowl full of them. Lots of them. Here's one that's not that color. I was just testing them out, trying to see which ones I liked. On these are the ones that were on the bead tree. I already sanded the roughness away from those little holes. I like for people not to bleed when they touch my stuff, so I do that. All right, well, thank you for watching. I love you guys. Take care of yourselves. September might be a bumpy month, and so October may as well. So the country is going through some things, so hopefully everybody will come out of it on the other side in good shape. So love you. Bye-bye.